Okay, hello and welcome everyone who is in the room already for our webinar today. Say hello to next generation content authoring. If my voice should sound a little bit strange today, that's because I have a flu and my voice is a little bit stressed, so please excuse that. My name is Stefan Gentz and I'm the Senior Worldwide Evangelist for Technical Communication at Adobe, and I will guide you to a couple of things that we have built into the new RoboHelp. The next generation of RoboHelp. We started that journey in 2019 when we released RoboHelp 2019 release, stopping more or less the development of the old RoboHelp that we all loved and know, and started to recreate RoboHelp from the scratch, starting with code line 1, and built a completely new RoboHelp experience and a new experience for you to create, author content and deliver content. RoboHelp is the next generation authoring and publishing tool for online helps, policy and procedures, user manuals, knowledge-based content, and self-service content. Please put in the chat what kind of content are you creating and how are you considering to use RoboHelp if you're not already doing that. Are you more creating user manuals? Are you creating software documentation? Are you creating policy and procedure documents? Or do you plan to create some knowledge base for your colleagues in the company or publish your content to self-service portals? So let's put that in the chat and let's get a better idea of what everyone is doing and what kind of content you are creating. Please put that in the chat. So let me first give a quick overview what we will see today. We will talk about very quickly, very short about the technology stack. We will talk about creating content and how to get started in RoboHelp. Then we will talk about publishing. I will give you some demos about all that. Then we will talk quickly about how to expand your global reach with the built-in translation management and support for XLIF. And we will do some collaborative online review together live. That will be exciting. We will maximize your impact with micro content and how you can do that. And a few words at the end about integration with CRM tools and self-service portals like ServiceNow and so on. So that is basically what we will go through. Let's first talk quickly about the technology stack that we have used to build RoboHelp and the technology stack that you are going to use with RoboHelp when creating and publishing content. So everything is built around XML. That's the important thing here. There's no proprietary stuff in there. It's all accessible. You can always manipulate even the base of your project, even the project files and everything. Everything is based on XML. Very easy to understand. You're authoring the content in HTML5. This is the latest HTML version that is available, and a lot of the web is built around that. And we decided to not just use HTML5, which allows you a lot of ugly stuff, but to use an XML notation of HTML5. This is 100% HTML5 compliant. And it's even better than normal HTML5 because it's pure XML as well and complies to the rules of XML. So you can even use XSLT and other technologies to process that content with your developers in some other way. So it gives you a lot of technology possibilities for the future. And of course, it's built on CSS, CSS3, version 3 to be precise. So that also gives you the latest and best technology to style your content in all kinds of fancy ways to make it look good and create a nice looking experience for your customers. And of course, we support JavaScript, and you can plug in JavaScripts to automate things or to create nice features in your online help, like collapsing and expanding sections and all that kind of stuff. JavaScript is just the technology for that. So if you have a JavaScript developer at your hand, you can even do much more than you would have been able in the past. So that's the technology stack. I promised just a few words about that. And now let's have a look at how you create your project and how RoboHelp welcomes you. This is how the RoboHelp starting screen looks like when you fire up RoboHelp. So you have the possibility to create and open and upgrade projects. New project creates a complete new project. Open project opens just the file browser to browse through your local hard drive or network drive. And upgrade project is for people who want to upgrade legacy projects from the old generation of RoboHelp. Here's a small recommendation. If you're doing that, if you're working with RoboHelp 2017 or maybe even older, first download the RoboHelp 2019 Classic version. Open your project once there. There's a free trial demo of that as well available. And then just open the project, maybe do some small changes here and there maybe, and then save and close it. And RoboHelp 2019 Classic will optimize your existing project a little bit so that it gets a smoother transition into, smoother import into the new generation of RoboHelp. And you can also import settings from old generations, and this is what you find there on the left. And here on the right side of that welcome screen, you see all your projects that you have worked on. It lists all the recent projects with the latest ones on the top. And of course, there are these small needles and pins that you can see on the right side, where you can pin your favorite project that you're working on most to the top of that list. And then you can always access your most worked on projects very quickly. And once you have opened the project, like this welcome to Adobe RoboHelp project here, then you see this kind of screen. And here on the left side, you can access all the project management features, like the content repository itself, which you also see in the second column here on that screen, the table of contents, the index, the glossary, see also. You can access creating micro content there. The condition tags, you can create variables from there, snippets, master page, manage your master pages for example, for PDF output. The browse sequences, if you want to guide your customer in a certain sequence through your online documentation. You can access all the reports and scripts and also translation management at the bottom, and a global find and replace for content in your project. So everything you need right on the left hand, quickly accessible. And here on the right side, or in the second column, so to say, you have the content repository, and there's a search bar where you can search through all topics of your content repository of your whole project, and quickly filter it to find the right topic that you want to work on. And when you open the topic, like here, welcome to Adobe RoboHelp in the top folder, then you get to the author your content stage. That's the place where you basically write your content, and where you can edit it, and also switch to the source code view and stuff like that. And you have a lot of small features there that I will show you in the live demo. And on the right side, you have the properties panel. This is very cool because it's context sensitive and always shows you relevant stuff for what you are currently doing. If you're just have opened the topic, it shows you the information about the topic, like adding metadata for search keywords or index keywords, which it shows you at the bottom on the right side, which incoming links from other topics are showing to this topic, to which other topics this topic is showing or referencing. So you have all that there at the hand. If you select a graphic, it will give you options to edit the graphics, like size and shadows and whatever. So it depends on what you're doing, what is shown there. And that is pretty cool because it's a philosophy thing that is in RoboHelp. Everything is at your hand while you're doing it. It's gone are the days where you had a lot of menus with submenus and submenus, and a lot of dialogues that open up, disturb you from working on the content. And you have to do something in a dialogue and then click OK or click cancel or apply or whatever. These times are gone. This is not how software works anymore today, and RoboHelp is fitting into that new way of working with software, like you note also from your maybe iPhone or Samsung phone or so on, and so on. So everything is context sensitive, and you have toggle buttons to just turn things on and off, and you don't have that and apply and OK stuff anymore. So this is pretty much how how it looks like. And let me go into RoboHelp itself and give you a quick demo on that. here we are. So here I'm the contents panel, and I have my topic open. Here in the contents panel, you can also search for content and say link, and then it shows me what I have there, like, for example, this link to email JPEG image, or let's say welcome. And then it shows me the topic that is dealing with the welcome content that I have open here. So you can search through your whole repository, and then you have the content area here in the center. Note that you have here on top multiple tabs open, and you can switch between them. So when I, let's say, open another topic here, you have these topics and you can switch and toggle between them. And you can also navigate within a topic through this breadcrumb navigation here. So whenever I click somewhere in the document itself or in the topic, then you will see that this breadcrumb navigation here at the top is changing, and it shows you basically the X path that is the structure of the inherent structure of the document, so that you can easily say, okay, I just want to mark up this whole paragraph, or that whole section, or that whole article, or the whole thing. And that gives you the possibility to navigate through your topic in this vertical navigation or horizontal navigation. And when you do right click, you can also do things like cut and copy and paste and delete, or apply condition tags, or just add a certain paragraph or a couple of paragraphs to the micro content and create a snippet, or create a variable from a word, or create a glossary term from a selected word. So there are all kinds of context-sensitive options available in the breadcrumb navigation. Just do right mouse click and you get there. And here on the right side, as I said, you have the properties panel. On the with these three buttons, general, styles, and topic. And on topic, you have the general properties, like the title of the document. You can see the file name. You can even change it from there, and Robohub will change the file name in the background. The author, the description, short description of that topic, that also goes into the metadata of the published output, so that Google can index that and show it in Google search results. You can define the language. This is especially useful when you plan to translate your content, because Robohub can then automatically detect the source language and manage that better. You can add search keywords, very easy to do. Like you see these small tags here, and let's say I want to add the word link, and just type it in, hit return, and it gets added as a link. And if you don't need one anymore, I just click the X and delete them. So this adds the search keywords. You can see which style sheets I applied to this topic. Here I have the default CSS style sheet that I have designed for my project, and I'm linking Font Awesome, the nice icon font that you can get on the web for free. You can add index keywords for the index, and if you want plan to generate the index, you can see all the condition tags and apply a certain conditional tag at the topic level and all that. So all that is available here in the properties panel for the topic. You have access to all the styles, like heading 1, heading 2, heading 3. Yeah, so I just click that and can change the formatting and structure of that content. And by just applying it, I can also go to that small edit icon and jump directly into the CSS if I want to do a global style change there. So that is the styles panel, and I can switch between paragraph styles and character styles and hyperlinks and so on, and get all these different kinds of styles, like for hyperlinks, how they should look like, and so on. And that makes it very easy to apply and format your document with just one mouse click. And in general, you have these context-sensitive attributes. That, let's say I'm here in a paragraph, and I see that this paragraph here is some selected text when I select some words, or if I just click into it, I see it's a H2, a heading 2. I can see the attributes. I can add an ID if I want to use that as a reference or for content reuse later on. I can define if it should get translated, yes or no, the whole paragraph or the new word or whatever. I can do all kinds of inline formattings I'm not a big fan of that. I prefer working with predefined styles from a style sheets, but sometimes you just might want to change, let's say, the color and define that, and whoops, now it's done. So very easy to do that, and you have these nice features like the small color box here to select a certain color from the screen. Bold, italic, all that is there. Alignment, you can easily do that, and center your content or right align it, whatever you want. All these formatting possibilities are there. It's all based on CSS3 in the background, so you're always safe with in terms of web technology, and can leverage the full potential of this powerful styling language, CSS3. That's, for example, for a paragraph. When I click an image, you see that the properties panel is immediately changing and giving me all the options that are possible to apply to an image. And I see the link to the image. I could change the image and select a different one and use that one instead, and then it will change. And I can add the alternate text and the image title. Title is important because when people hover over the image in the Publish Online Help, they will see that. I can select the alignment of the image and stuff like that, the layout, maximum height, minimum height. So I can do all that. I can even scale the image and add shadows to it and define and style it with bars and everything. So that is pretty much what you can do here. Then you have the spell check. You can run it on the current file, all topics or project files. Let's run it on the current file. And I see, I get a suggestion here that one word might be written wrong, and I can skip it or ignore it or add it to my custom dictionary that I can then also share with my colleagues. So that's this. Spell check, quick overview. And of course, we have a very powerful code editor, source code editor here. So you see the source code of your topic. As you can see, it's full XML, XML compliant. It's HTML5, doctype HTML5. And you have the possibility to also edit this content in the source code editor here and create a paragraph. You will see that it also in live validates the content and makes sure that you're not writing some wrong content. I can do that here. It's always in sync with the authoring view, and I have it here. Yeah? So that is pretty much what we can do here in the authoring view. There are a lot of features here at the top where you can insert tables, or you can insert an image and browse the image repository, and you always see a preview, nice preview of your image, and can insert it. You can insert local files, or you could even insert web links from a graphic that is available on the web, and by just pasting the URL. Quick demo on that. I'm going to this one here, and I say, say one image here. Let's say this one, copy image address, and I paste it here, and it will show up, and then I can just insert it. So very easy to work with images as well, full capabilities to browse through your whole image repository or even reference images from the web. You can also insert videos like video files, MP4 or so, YouTube videos, Vimeo videos, or even Adobe Captivate videos. Same for YouTube. You just go here and say insert multimedia and insert a YouTube video. Also very easy to implement into your documentation. Do some screen recordings and which one do I take? Let's say this one. And I just click share, copy that, and paste it here, and I immediately get a preview of that video here in RoboHelp. I say, play it and check if it's really the one I wanted to have. Okay, yeah, Control on and insert, and I get the placeholder for the image. And if I go into the preview, I could even play it then. When I publish that, it's available as an embedded image as well. Yeah, so very easy to do this kind of stuff as well. And go back to the authoring view. And yeah, so that's the content repository, the authoring stage, and the properties panel. You have the table of contents, how People can navigate through your documentation portal later when you publish it. You have the index. You can add index entries. You can create your own glossary. You can create these see also links. You can create micro content. I will look into that later. We have condition tags. That is pretty cool if you want to conditionalize content for multiple audiences. Let's say you have two audiences, an administrator and an end user, or you're publishing to a PDF and to a web portal, and then you can tag the content by just dragging and dropping the conditions to that paragraph, and then it will be applied there, and then it will be configured as in the background as this applies to the administrator and the other paragraph applies to the end user, and later on people can filter in the online help based on their user role. Or you could create two kinds of PDFs, like a online PDF or print, or a PDF for an administrator and a PDF for an end user. So this kind of conditionalizing content is possible as well. Let me undo a little bit of stuff here so that I don't mess my topic up too much. So, and of course I can use variables like product name and product version and so on. I can use snippets. I can create master pages for my PDFs and design my master pages with headers and footers and main body content and this kind of stuff, and create the browse sequences. I get a lot of reports like the topic lists, my project status. I can even create nice views like a pie chart if I want to do some management reports and show them, okay, we have 78, 79% of our topics are still in draft, and these are ready, and these are ready for review. So I can do this kind of analysis and nice looking pie charts for my manager as well to show them how we are proceeding in our project. There are a lot of other reporting possibilities as well. I can't go through all of them now because then we're running out of time. And I can also insert scripts like a variable converter, or do a simple word count thing if I want to count all the words in my topic. So these kind of JavaScript-based reports are possible, and you can plug in your own JavaScripts for that as well, even for output. And of course, translation management, but I will go into that later. So that was a quick demo of the user interface and how you work with RoboHelp on the surface. Let's have a quick look at publishing. So we can publish to chatbots. We can publish to modern micro helps. We can publish, of course, to PDF. And we can publish to frameless responsive HTML5. And we can enjoy modern HTML5 skins that look beautiful. And I will give you a link where you can test it yourself as well. And I will go through it in a live demo. And you can even publish to Microsoft Word documents. If you want to distribute your content as a Microsoft Word document, you're covered with RoboHelp. And of course, accessibility and security that you can set, like adding passwords and so on. One thing regarding publishing to PDF, this is completely independent from Microsoft Word or some other external tool. You can generate PDFs right from within RoboHelp with RoboHelp's built-in PDF engine. So no need to first create a Word document and then create a PDF from there, or run Microsoft Word in the background or so, like some other tools or older versions are doing that maybe. So that's a native PDF engine built right into RoboHelp, and you don't need any other tools for that. Let's have a quick look at how that HTML5 publishing looks like. We have that beautiful Skin Studio and Layout Studio. We call it Studio, the new portal for enterprise documentation. This is how it looks like. This is, of course, the base configuration, and you can customize everything about that. Colors, icons, images, everything is fully customizable. And if you want to give that a try, sorry, there's the wrong link. That was a link for, sorry, I made a small error there. Let's go into this one here, because that is the correct link. showmethedemo.com. That is the link that you can use for that. Go to that slide. Put it here. showmethedemo.com. That is the link that you can access right now. It's live. and you can play around with it and see how it works. So this is the starting page here. You have the navigation. You can go through the whole content of that help portal, play videos there, all that kind of stuff. You can bookmark things. You can even print a page from a help topic and create a PDF from that. You have the index available with all the index keywords that were added to that topic. This is the topic that by the way, you also find as a sample project that ships with RoboHelp. So give it a try and look through it. You can create your own favorites. Let's say I add this topic here as a favorite, and new contact, new account, market history, add this one as a topic as well. And let's say activities, and this one. These are my favorites. And when I click here as a user on favorites, I see the favorites that I, as user of your documentation, has bookmarked, so to say, in my help project, and I can easily access them. So very easy to do that. I can filter content based on my company role. Let's say I'm from sales, and then I get all the content that is available for sales or for software developers, and they appear as tags here. I can remove them and show them, and corporate travel and leisure travel, and then I get content depending on which paragraphs and graphics and topics were tagged as being part of my corporate travel or leisure travel topics, or maybe country locations like US and UK and Canada. Maybe you have a couple of warning icons, a couple of warnings in UK, and you have twice the amount of warnings for US market for legal reasons. And then you can tag the content and only show the relevant content to the audience that is relevant for them based on their location or based on their user role or based on their market type or whatever. You can tag your content for your audiences, and they can then filter out the content based on their needs. And if they want to see the content from the sales team as well, they can do that by just clicking that checkbox. And of course, you can download it as a PDF and go into that, and then you have some PDF here. This is just an example PDF, but just to show how that link works. And you have that nice search bar here at the top. When you click on that magnifier here, and then it expands through the whole header. And you can say, let's say, waterfall, or maybe waterfall is not a word here in the documentation. Let's say contact. You see how it's already filtering my search results, and then you get these small mini search results here, like company sick pay and what sets us apart in the corporate travel market. And that gives a quick overview of the topic, and then you can just click on it and you jump as a user directly into that topic and can play with it and read it. And you can also search the glossary here and get some explanations about these keywords like CRM or CSH or what is an opportunity, any contact with the customer, and so on. So all that is completely built into the Studio skin already, and you can just access it. Again, the link for that, if you want to play it and play with it and look at it on your own, showmethedemo.com/compass_travel. This is where you can access the online help that you see just right now on the screen, or just that you have seen in the last minute, and you can get an idea of what kind of output you can create with RoboHelp out of the box. And of course, it's fully customizable, and you can fully change that in all kinds of ways, colors, images, icons, fonts. You can change everything and customize it to your corporate design and your personal style. So that is skin. That was the demo. And now let's have a look at advanced HTML5 to PDF publishing, because publishing in Help Portal is nice, but it basically means your users need to be online to access it. But how often are you not online? Maybe you're sitting in a train and traveling to work, and you want to get access to that, and you're in a tunnel and there's no internet. Or you're maybe an engineer maintaining a machine in the rainforest, and there is no internet. So PDF is the way to go to back up the content, and some people just prefer having one big PDF that they can easily scroll through instead of browsing through topics. And they can search it very easy, and so and even read it on their mobile phone. So PDF is definitely an output channel that you want to publish as well. And when you look at the technical communication survey that we did last year, PDF is with far distance still the primary output channel #1 that everyone is generating. It's still the biggest published format in the world. So we have spent a lot of effort into creating a really good PDF engine, and you can fully customize pretty much everything. You can create your table of contents and define the structure of the navigation there. It's automatically generated, and then you can customize it. You can create book-based and chapter-based layouts. You can create all kinds of cover pages, the PDF cover page, the PDF back page, even section pages. If you have multiple big sections in your documentation, you could create individual cover pages for these sections, or maybe even cover pages for each topic. So you can customize that heavily and do all the create all the custom navigation for your customers. You can even add metadata to your PDFs, like the title, the author, the subject, keywords. Keywords is a very underestimated feature, by the way. If you have keywords that you add to the XRF metadata in your PDF, Google will prefer these PDFs when you when it shows search results. And if you have nice metadata in your PDF, Google will honor that and rank you a little bit higher. So these are things that you can leverage there as well. And you can have very advanced master page configurations in all details. You can create, define the master pages for the topics themselves, for the first page, for the table of contents. You can create a different master page for the index and so on. So for all kinds of content types that you have in a typical documentation, you can define custom master pages. You don't have to, you don't need to, but if you want to create really advanced, high quality level PDFs, you can do that. You have all the possibilities here built in right into RoboHelp. And of course, you can customize all the page layout, like page size, A4 or letter, and so on. If it's portrait or landscape, you can define the page margins, page display. If a topic should start on a new page or an odd page or an even page, and so on. So you have all these customization possibilities for the layout there as well. And you can even create, and that is really amazing, I'm really wondering how they have done that, accessible tagged PDFs. This is not, I cannot emphasize enough how cool and important that is, because accessible PDFs allow you a lot of things like also reflowability. You have maybe heard about Liquid PDF, and Liquid PDF, the new technology from Adobe that can turn static PDFs into dynamic PDFs that render or re-render on your mobile device, like a smartphone, and make it more easy to navigate and consume the content of a PDF on a small screen. So this is a really cool feature. It's also very cool for accessibility in general. If you want to have a screen reader, maybe you have customers who are visually impaired. They can read, hear to the content, listen to the content from the screen reader, and the screen reader can read such a PDF much better and much higher quality, audio-wise, voice-wise, if it's a tagged PDF. So don't underestimate that. It's a really cool feature. Always turn it on, and make sure you create tagged PDF because they are much more richer and have much more inherent structure in the PDF than just characters on the page. Of course, you can create merged PDFs. You can secure your PDFs. You can embed fonts. You can embed multimedia like videos or audio or so. You can even define the image compression. You can define the custom PPI, the pixel per inch for your images. If you have a lot of high resolution images, you could shrink them down to 300 pixel PPI maximum. You can add watermarks and so on. So let me quickly show you that in Robohelp itself. And go into my topic here, Compass Travel, and I go into authoring and say output. And in output, I have PDF. And you can define the output path here, the PDF file name, which language it should be. In this case, it's English US. I could add a post-generation script that runs on the topics before the final PDF is created. Maybe I want to change something in the last minute that shouldn't be shouldn't be changed in the topics themselves, but just before I want to publish it. I could do stuff like that, like convert all variables or whatever. I can create define what is the content, like the table of contents. I can define the metadata, like this one. Yeah, Adobe, the subject is getting started with RoboHelp. I can add keywords that will appear in the PDF, Adobe and PDF. And I can define the master pages. I can define master pages for the table of contents, for the index, back meta, front meta, glossary. For everything, I can define individual master pages, so highly customizable. And of course, the page size, A4, and so on. If it's portrait or landscape, if it's single page view, that is the view that the PDF appears when you open it in Adobe Acrobat for the first time. I want to have two pages scrolling, and it should be page width. That's the way the PDF should open in Acrobat. So you can even define these granular things of a PDF. Well, I mean, we're Adobe, PDF is our thing, so of course we have built all that in. You can create accessible PDF. You can create and secure your PDF. BNR, and add a password there. I can use fonts. Do I want to embed all my fonts or not? Maybe there's some legal restriction that you're not allowed to embed fonts, but usually you want to add them. You could automatically hyphenate the content. You could embed multimedia files and so on. Image compression. You could define a custom resolution and say, oh, okay, all my images could be 300 pixels per inch, or I could even add a watermark, but that doesn't make sense for me now. And then I can just publish it, and I click generate. Let me just check it if it's open. No. And then I can create this PDF. For this huge documentation portal, it takes a few seconds because it's a really big portal with a lot of content. And you see now I get that password dialog here in PDF, and I need to enter my password that I had defined. Webinar. So then I can open it, and then you can see it's opening as a double-facing page. Because I had it defined that way. And of course, I can change that and do it like that. And I get my table of contents, might be a little bit small here, and you might need to adjust that. And then I can get that whole PDF here, and I have the bookmarks and can navigate through my PDF. I have even the tags, and here you can see that this PDF is a fully tagged PDF in the tag tree of Acrobat with H2 and paragraphs, and a screen reader can then read that PDF beautifully nice. So that is publishing to HTML5 and PDF. So let's quickly talk about expanding your global reach with the professional translation management built into RoboHelp. So make the world your customer. We had that nice saying of a former German chancellor who said, if I'm selling to you, I speak your language. If you're selling to me, you need to speak German. You need to speak Deutsch. And I think it was Willy Brandt, one of the former chancellors. And that's the thing. If you want to sell to customers around the world and large audiences and different markets, you need to translate your content. Every LSP will be able to consult you on that. Every language service provider, translation agencies, and so on. And what these translations agencies usually need to translate content, because they're working with professional translation tools like Travel Studio or a cross-language server or MemoQ or XCM or MemSource and all these translation tools. they're all using XLIF. And usually all these tools have built-in XLIF filters, and they work sometimes good, sometimes bad, and sometimes stable, sometimes unstable. Really depends on the tool and the specific file format you're processing. And you're, in the end, always depending on the technology your translation vendor is using. So it depends on which tool they are using, and then you're sort of locked in. And the CAT tool, like Studio and Across and all the others I mentioned before, they all have different kind of file format filters, and they all represent things that you have in your HTML content or other formats in their own way, with own tagging and so on. And while they all work with XLIF, they all build on top of that XLIF their proprietary standard, and that in the end makes results in that you have some translation memory after the while that is full with proprietary tags from that vendor, from the translation tool vendor. And that makes transitioning from one tool to the other very difficult. You could not do things like one translator is translating in Strata Studio, the next one is translating or reviewing in MemoQ, and the next one is doing the final approval in XDM. So these kind of scenarios are usually not possible because you're locked into that one technology from that one vendor. And the bigger your translation memory gets, the more difficult it becomes to switch the vendor. And of course, you also end up always that the translation memory is only with the vendor. You might make deals with them that they share the translation memory with you, but it's not an easy thing. We solved that problem. We built an XLIF support right out of the box into RoboHelp. So you can create XLIF, the XML localization interchange file format, right from within RoboHelp, and you're in control of that. You're not depending anymore on the tool or vendors and their technologies and their file format filters to create translatable content. Very easy thing. You get in control of that, you get the full power of it, and you get the full ownership of that because you also always get translated bilingual XLIF back from your vendor, because that's what they will send you back. They will send you bilingual XLIF, and you can always feed your own translation memory with that. So here's the translation management. You find translations at the top, at the bottom left, translations. I have added German as a target language here. Then you see all these topics in my that are available in my topic here, in my project. And you can tick the checkboxes and say, I want to translate this topic, this topic, this topic. And you see the translation status, like out of sync. Out of sync is here because I had translated that project in the past, then changed content, and now it got out of sync in German, in my target language here. And then I can just regenerate my XLIF, shoot it through the translation process again, and it's done. And then I get my bilingual translated XLIF files back, import them, and I have the German version completed. So I can go into that XLIF thing later on after the webinar if you're interested in that, and you can look at more details. In the sake of time, I'm skipping that as I announced at the very beginning. And but you have this full translation management here out of the book, XLIF support, project management, machine translation support with popular translation platforms. You have always in the overview which topics are already translated and which are not. Like in sync, out of sync, modified, missing, and so on. And of course, we have also built in machine translation, so you can get global ready with the content in just minutes. We support Google Translate, Microsoft Translator, and Yandex Translate. These big engines are built in out of the box, but you can also add your custom MT engines as long as they provide an API. And then you just need the credentials from your machine translation vendor. Usually you get something like an API key, and they give you the endpoint and maybe a custom script. And then you can integrate your custom MT engines as well. Okay, I will skip that. Let me know in the chat if you're interested in seeing more about that. And we can expand the time a little bit and have a deeper look at that. Or maybe we do some additional webinar on that one day if you're interested in that. It's one of my favorite topics, so happy to do that. Okay, let's have a quick look in the last minutes about online review. We have about 30 minutes left. Say hello to online review, and this gets really excited now because we can do that together. This is the new cloud-based review and approval service from Adobe. You can invite public or selected participants to an online review right from within RoboHelp, just at their email addresses, and invite them or make it public. And you can write a small note. Hi team, please review this online documentation until yesterday, as we need to publish it urgently. Stefan. So you can invite your colleagues to the review, and then they will get an email with a link, and they can end up in the online review. And let's try that together. It's a very nice thing. I've prepared that for you guys. Go to https bit.ly/webinar review. If you open that page, will look like that. Then you can do the review with me together in these last minutes of the webinar, and we can play there. Go to that link, bit.ly/webinar review, and then you can review the content, and I will see it and show it to you how it looks for me as an author in RoboHelp. Go there. Maybe my colleague Amitosh can support me in that as well. You go to bit.ly/webinar review, and then this page opens, and on the left side you will see webinar. You can open it with the arrow bar, and then you see all the topics, and then let's open introduction, and then in the center the introduction topic will open, and then on the right side I've made it public now, so everyone should be able to access it. Thanks for putting the link into the chat, webinar, Amitosh. And on the right side you have the commenting panel, and there you can do some comments. Let me go there live and see what you guys are commenting. I'm here in the introduction, and I make my first content, my first comment here. Welcome to Compass Travel. That is the old name. Please change. I can submit that comment, and it appears here with my nice face, and because I'm logged in. And I see Björn has already commented something as well, and Amitosh has commented something. I can hover over that, and Björn, I will give you a reply. Thank you so much. And I can reply to Amitosh as well. Nice topic name, great functionality. And I say, Amitosh, Amitosh, thank you. We'll keep it. Submit that. So I'm in the browser now as well, and you can see the comments are popping in from Simon. A comment just popped in here, context-sensitive help. Yep, that's what it's about. Yeah. And I can now go back to RoboHelp, and I go into the review pod, and I see that here, and I see introduction here. Oh, now I'm in RoboHelp. I'm no longer in the browser. And I get an error now here. Maybe it's too fast going on live. And I see the comments popping up here as well. There is some error that I'm facing here now. I'm on a beta version of the next build, so maybe they're changing something right now live while I'm presenting. Don't do that, guys. But then you see the topic here, and all the comments are popping in here in RoboHelp as well. And I see there are currently 6 topics available. And then as a user, I can go through these topics from within RoboHelp as well, and even reply there. So, hello. Not sure if that works now because it seems to be broken right now. And then the topics also appear in the web browser in the online. And so I can go as a reviewer to all these topics and run through them. Asia and corporate markets, our destinations, and they open up as tabs here. And each tab has their individual topics and individual reviews. And I can use all these kind of review functionalities like highlighting, or I could do that, or I can do some pin and say this graphic change and submit that. Or I can strike through text and say it's not family, it's business travel. With that one, and so on. And this is already pretty cool. You're now seeing a public preview because I have made that review public to everyone who has the link. But I could also make it private and just invite people through email to this review. Maybe I just want my colleagues to review it and no one else. And then I can do that as well. So that is the review part. Play around with it, enjoy it, and I will further go on with the last things here. So we have that content on the left, the content navigation on the left, the content on the right, and on the center, and on the right you have all the review panels and possibilities. In a nutshell, it's a completely cloud-based review hosted by Adobe, accessed via a URL on a secure HTTPS encrypted connection. It's a topic-based navigation. It's a collaboration among the reviewers and the authors. All the comments are live synced between RoboHelp and the web live review. Everything pops up in real time, or maybe with a half of a second delay. And there are various annotation options that people are used to from Acrobat. So you can drag through, underline, highlight, make sticky notes and stuff like that. And you can collaborate with the online reviewers right from within RoboHelp. Very smooth integration. So, few words towards the end about micro content. We have about 6 minutes left, so I'm rushing through that a little bit. So you can, or first, maybe what is micro content? Content is micro content is content that can be consumed in a few seconds, and it can be displayed in all kinds of environments where not a full-blown topic can be displayed. And for chatbots, for example, it's a question and answer thing. And in the chatbot world, we talk about intent and response. And the intent is basically the question, and the response is the answer. And you can use that also for featured snippets, like in Google search. You can use that for chatbots. You can use that for giving quick answers in an FAQ, or an answer in a chatbot, and much more. There are endless possibilities for that. So let's say hello to chatbots. And this is how it looks like, a conversational chatbot with Google Dialogflow. We have built in an integration with Google Dialogflow. You can set that up very quickly and easy, and then build your own chatbot and embed it in your help portal. And you just go to the micro content section in RoboHelp, create a new micro content group, and that just takes a few seconds. And then you can start writing in a table your intent and your response, the question that a customer might ask, and what kind of response you want to give. Of course, you need to be mindful about what your customers will probably ask you, and it's a fuzzy search, so you don't have to be super precise there, but it should be at least contain keywords that you think your customer will use when searching for an answer. And then you can include an answer. You can even make that very comprehensive, even include videos in your answers. I will show you that in a demo in a sec. And it also appears in the search snippets in the HTML5 output or in FAQs. You saw that when I was showing the search bar at the top of the studio skin. I was entering the word, hit return, and then these small search snippets showed up. And let me quickly show you that. Here's our help portal again, show me the demo.com, and go back to the top here. And as you can see, I have that chatbot here on the right. And the chatbot says, welcome, ask me about Oregon travel. And I say, what do I ask the chatbot? Are there waterfalls in Oregon? Are there waterfalls in Oregon? The chatbot is thinking and giving me an answer. The Multnomah Falls in Oregon's Columbia River, George National Scenic Area. And the chatbot even includes a video that I can play. A little bit too big for that chat box maybe, but if you want to include small snippet videos, you could even do that here and embed videos in the answer of a chatbot. That's amazing, isn't it? That's really cool. I really love that. Okay, so that is the chatbot thing. And we're nearly at the 4 hours. So just a few slides about integration with CRM tools. You're covered there as well with RoboHelp because we do support customer support knowledge bases out of the box publishing to these KBs. Right now we have implemented ServiceNow. That's the big thing you see a lot on TV and advertising right now. And we've implemented Zendesk and of course Salesforce knowledge base. So these three are implemented out of the box, and you can just enter your credentials and publish to them. So very easy to do. There's out-of-the-box publishing for that. You can select the target, like Salesforce knowledge base, ServiceNow knowledge base, or just plain XHTML or Zendesk Help Center, and then just publish. Very easy to do. And you can do all your custom configuration for each CRM, site URL, user ID, password, all that is already in the user interface of RoboHelp embedded, and you can just use that. Yeah, that's it. I have one more thing in the last minute, and that's this. And as one or the other of you might know, I'm a big Apple fan, and I don't make a secret out of that. Although I really like my Microsoft Surface as well. But I'm really happy that we have RoboHelp for macOS as well. And this is really the first knowledge management and self-service content authoring solution for the Mac. And it looks beautifully, same interface than on Windows, completely cross-platform compatible. If you want to migrate from your PC, from Windows to Mac, you can easily do that with RoboHelp and migrate your content there. Or you don't actually need to migrate it. You just continue to work with it. And if you have colleagues who are working on a MacBook and you're on a Windows machine, you can just work together seamlessly and collaborate with each other. You could also use all the other integrations that we have, like Git and GitHub, and collaborate through there or on the file server, whatever. And if you're on a Mac, you will really love that we have RoboHelp on Mac. You can use it on both machines with one license. There's also a nice thing that Adobe has done there, so I can use RoboHelp on both my Windows and my Mac machine at the same time in parallel with one license. That's very nice as well. Thank you, Adobe. Yeah, that's pretty much it. At the full hour, I say thank you, and thanks for your attention, and thanks for your participation today. If you have any more questions, feel free to send me an email to gentz@adobe.com, and I will be happy to connect you with our product managers or support, or answer your questions myself, depending on what is the topic. And I'm looking into the chat now to see what is going on there. There are questions, and I see Amitosh has already answered a lot there. Let me go through that, what we had there. And with that, I first stop sharing now and end that one poll here. And I would like to put in another poll. If you would like to get a free one-on-one session with our solution consultants, maybe even including me, then put yes in the chat, and then we can contact you and can give you a one-on-one demo as well and discuss your individual requirements there. By the way, you don't need to click no, basically. It was a little bit stupid for me to put it in there because we only would contact you if you click yes. If you click nothing or no, we will not contact you or get in touch with you. Okay, let me look through the chat. If you want, you can unmute yourself as well, Amitosh, and check with me if there are some things that we need to discuss. Let's see. As far as I can see, Amitosh, or you have already answered most of the questions. I see Gary was interested in a separate Xlib translation webinar. Okay, cool. I take that feedback, Gary. And yeah, there was this question if you need a separate Robohub license for your reviewers. Josh has already answered that. No, you don't. You just need an Adobe ID. You can create one for free. And then everyone can participate in that online review without the need to pay for any additional license or anything. And there was a question about migration path from Stefan was asking that the migration path from other tools like Flare. Currently, there's no import or so from Flare, but we might look into that if there's a lot of interest. Flare is also just HTML, and they do a lot of proprietary extensions in the HTML that are proprietary to Madcap. But we don't do that. We just have pure XML plain. So there might be some issues here and there. But generally said, it's HTML, and therefore you can also import it. Maybe you need a little bit of post editing then for certain very proprietary Flare stuff, but that shouldn't be a big issue. And a question if there are technical writers using Robohub in Italy. Yes, there are a lot. So Robohub is quite popular in Italy. And there's one question in the Q&A. Is this demo project completely created with frameless skin, or are the sub-projects created with normal HTML5 to achieve the sidebar talk? Yes, it's the out-of-the-box generation with just some styles customized, Gary. So it's the normal studio skin that ships with Robohub, and the sidebar navigation is part of that. Okay, cool. And with that, I stop the recording and say thank you and goodbye. I will stay in the room if there's some more questions, but otherwise, have a great day, have a great time, and